Origin Effects made a Tubescreamer. Probably the most cloned pedal in the world, and they decided to make one. Well, maybe the clone Centaur has more clones than Tubescreamer, but there are a lot of Tubescreamer clones out there. So why did they do this? Well, because they're Origin Effects and they're absolutely fucking brilliant. And they have this new thing called Adaptive Circuitry. You can choose with the switches here between a stock EQ curve, and the top switch is to select the kind of circuit. So like when it's at 0, it's got the stock Tubescreamer circuit. Now that's where things become interesting, because I think, that's my personal opinion, so don't hate me for it, the Tubescreamer is probably the least versatile overdrive out there. I really like them with scooped amps, mid-scooped amps like Fender Black Panel amps, super reverb. You crank the volume and you lower the gain and it acts as a mid boost. And I found that that is probably the only situation where I could like a Tubescreamer. If you turn the gain, it gets nasal because there is a second mid hump right there at around 2k hertz, which is really nasty and I don't like it. So as a kind of clean boost, yes, perfect. And thick heavy strings, amp set really loud, and then it works wonderfully well. But with a clean amp, I don't really like it. So back to the Origin Effects Halcyon, because that is a problem they tackled. They made the Tubescreamer super dynamic and super versatile. And they made it dynamic with the adaptive circuitry. If you roll back your volume with an overdrive pedal, like with the Tubescreamer, with the Timmy, or name your overdrive pedals, chances are that the volume will get lower, it will get muddier, and it won't lose gain. And if you're used to playing loud amps or fuzz pedals and you're riding your volume control a lot, then that is something that doesn't work with those kinds of pedals, and you really need to find something else. And the adaptive circuitry solves that problem. So you have two settings. You have setting 1 and setting 2. And setting 2 is like the most responsive. So when you pick lightly or roll back your volume, it'll get cleaner and not muddier. So that is absolutely brilliant, because that allows me to use a Tubescreamer the way I'm used to using pedals. Like, you roll back the volume and it gets cleaner. That's what I like to hear. So I was really super excited when Origin contacted me and asked me if I wanted to do a demo on this, because I think more pedals should have this. And this is their new technology. This is called the Halcyon Green overdrive. Who knows how many more of these pedals we'll get. Maybe we'll get a blue one or a black one with a Boss Metalzone. Imagine that, Boss Metalzone that cleans up, that would be wonderful. So yeah, I'm really hoping this is a wonderful start and it sounds amazing, but I'm really hoping they're gonna expand this range because it's brilliant and it sounds awesome. So mode is like you have the original 808 mode and then their modded 808 mode. There's also a dry knob right here, which blends in your dry signal. And Jacob from Origin explained me why they did this, because in a Tubescreamer, apparently there's always some dry signal being blended in with the overdrive. I didn't know that. I'm really glad I know now. So what they did, they hooked it up to a pot meter, and now you can blend in your dry signal to your own taste. And it's amazing. Okay, tones. So let's start with, I'm gonna play the Panucci 59 with P90s because probably everybody is gonna play this with a Strat. I thought, well, let's do something different. Stock 808 and adaptive circuitry off. Camera rolling. And then it sounds like this. Oh, clean tone first, because otherwise I'm gonna piss off a lot of people. Okay. So let's set dry at noon, tone at noon, volume is cranked, and drive is around 9 o'clock. You hear that quack, the nasal thing? It's less than on a Tubescreamer, but it's there, so they nailed the Tubescreamer tone. Now we're gonna switch to mod. Like a breath of fresh air. It has the mid-hub, but it's refined, like a Michelin star chef sprinkled some stuff on top. Tone at 3 o'clock. Tone at 9 o'clock. All right, let's close the dry signal. And dry cranked. Ho, ho, ho. So now, right now, the adaptive circuitry is turned off. See what I mean? It gets muddy, doesn't lose any gain. Now, adaptive circuitry on its highest setting. And it's usable. I love it. Okay, light picking. Adaptive circuitry off. Turned on. And this is the position that's kind of like in between. More drive. I'm gonna grab a Strat anyway because I want to hear it with a Strat. Well, I already heard it with a Strat. I'm pretending I didn't hear it just for this video. Shut up, Siri. Okay, let's go back to the stock EQ. Tone at noon, volume cranked. Let's set dry at noon. Kind of like it. It's Tubescreamer. Forget everything I said. And then mod and adaptive circuitry on. It's less tone. And dry signal cranked. That's dry signal. Like this on the stock 808 and with the adaptive circuitry on. Let's do a little more dry signal. Yes! Ah, it's warm and woolly and awesome. I love it. But it doesn't have to be warm and woolly, so dial in whatever you want. Let me know down below in the comments what you think, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because it would help me a lot. And if you wanna check out some of my gem tracks or get them, and I make tabs for my micro lessons on Instagram, you can find those on my Patreon page. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.